Tim Scott is back from the ashes after being buried and brutally mocked for how quickly he jumped on the Trump train after withdrawing his own presidential candidacy, going as far to rather emasculate himself in the name of promoting Trump, to which Trump hasn't hesitated one bit to make mention of multiple times.
This is, in a very positive way, Tim Scott. He has been much better for me than he was for himself. I watched his campaign.
Well, Tim Scott took to Fox News last night to run a little defense for Trump and a little offense at Haley in what I would only sum up as his latest audition for VP.
Here's what we both know, that Donald Trump led this nation to the best 4 years economically in my lifetime. We had the lowest unemployment for African Americans, for Hispanics. We had the lowest for Asians, a 70-year low for women. It's one of the reasons why in New Hampshire, Donald Trump, beat Nikki Haley with women, with seniors, and millennials.
Not to beat a dead horse, because we've debunked this numerous times on the channel, but the record low unemployment can better be attributed to Obama, where under him we saw it drop almost 6%. Under Donald Trump, it only went down just over 1%, and only 0.5% of that came after his only legislation, the tax cuts. So while yes, he oversaw the record low Black and Hispanic unemployment, he certainly didn't do most of the legwork in getting it there. I mean, good job not completely messing it up, I guess, and saying the man who overturned Roe and allowed states to draconianly punish women for abortion, who's now saying he'll federally ban it at 16 weeks with no exceptions, is popular among women is just hilarious.
We actually were experiencing world peace under Donald Trump. Ukraine, no war, no incursion. The Middle East, Israel, safer. The Indo-Pacific, China was not looking at Taiwan.
I want you to remember, one of the things Trump ran on was bringing peace to the Middle East. Can anyone name one thing Trump did to actually accomplish that? The Abraham Accords did nothing. If anything, moving the embassy to Jerusalem and making it an Islamic capital only made relations worse between Israel and Palestine, as Jerusalem is also considered holy lands in Islam. That's some of the friction points in multiple of the peace talks they've had throughout the decades. Pulling out of the Iranian nuclear deal only allowed Iran to engage in actions that further allowed Israel to justify its paranoia and stance on Palestine as a whole for fear that weapons could be getting sent into Gaza with his new research and so on and so forth. He did absolutely nothing but things that right-wingers with no grasp of foreign policy or the nuance of geopolitics want to use as talking points. More soldiers died in Afghanistan under Trump than Biden, and Trump got soldiers killed in Iran after going against his advisors and bombing Iran. The idea that he's some bringer of world peace is just silly, and it's not at all based in facts.
Sometimes you wake up on Monday morning and you realize that the race is already gone. The best thing you can do is within 24 hours is to get out the way. I hope that happens. Listen, Nikki Haley has run the best race she could run. And lately her campaign has been descending. Honestly, it's desperation that you feel coming from her camp. And when you feel that type of desperation, that means the race is already over. And the leading person, Nikki Haley herself, has to come to realization. She has to realize that this race is over. It is best for the country, not just a party.
Tim Scott is someone who can tell you plenty about running a losing campaign, about running a desperate campaign, seeing as he did both of those things just before pulling out and bowing down to kiss the ring for Trump. I think getting a Washington Post op-ed where you yourself provide pictures of you with a girlfriend proposing to prove you can get one and make yourself a more viable candidate for VP is also pretty desperate.